Okay, all right. Hey everyone. So my name is Mizan. I am a mobile engineer at Huddle01, and I'm going to conduct this quick workshop where I'm going to be showing you all how you can add real-time audio-video communication to your React applications. So I chose this because most of the hackers over here use React for their hackathon projects. So how many of you are using React to build your projects in this hackathon? Okay, nice. That's nice. That's quite a good number. So if you want to use audio video in your application, you can use our SDK to do that. And we also have multiple track prizes, which I'll announce at the end of my talk. You can apply for those bounties as well. So to get started, let me talk more about what Huddle01 does. So we follow something known as a three-pronged approach. The first one is our Huddle01 app. So it's a video conferencing platform just like Zoom or Google Meet. And we also have a mobile app and a web app for the same. The second layer is our SDKs and APIs, and this is what you are going to be using in this hackathon. So these SDKs allow you to integrate audio video in your applications in as less as 10 lines of code. That's all you need. And fun fact, we also built our web app and mobile app using these same SDKs. So they're available for you to use in this hackathon, so feel free to use them. That's what I'm going to be talking about. And the last layer is our DRTC protocol that we are working on. So what this allows us is to create a people-powered network. Our protocol engineer is on our booth, on the Huddle01 booth. You can come and talk more with him about this protocol. So what you want to focus on in this hackathon is the SDKs, and that's what I'm going to show you all. So quickly, this is what our apps look like. On the left, you see the video call layout, and on the right-hand side, you see the audio spaces. And you could do all of this in your own app using our SDKs. So we have the multiple solutions that our SDKs provide are plug-and-play APIs and recording. You can also record your calls in your own application, and you can also bring your own Web3 identity. So that means you can use NFT avatars and your decentralized names inside the meeting using our SDK. And we also have token gating. So this allows you to create locked rooms, which can only be joined if you have specific tokens in your crypto wallet. And this obviously is done using the crypto wallet login. We offer multiple login options as well. And the last thing is the customizable iframe. So we also have an iframe offering, which allows you to embed video calls without much customizability. But sadly, that's not what you're going to be using this hackathon for the bounties. You have to use the SDKs, not the iframes. So that's another solution that we offer. So the three SDKs that we have are React.js, React Native, and Vanilla.js. We have Flutter and Unity SDKs coming soon, but these three are available to use right now. So let's get started. I'll quickly show you a React app and a very simple video calling app, how you can join a room and have multiple peers join the same call. So to do that, you need to install two packages. The first one is the Huddle01/React package, and the second one is the Huddle01/Server SDK package. Now, the important thing is that we recently launched our alpha versions of these SDKs, and that is what you want to be using for this hackathon. So your submissions will only be accepted if you're using the alpha SDKs. So to do that, when you install using npm or yarn, you just need to add @alpha at the end of the package name, as you can see on the screen. So the Huddle01/React package is the client-side package. It allows you to do all the important things such as joining a room and also sharing and receiving video and audio streams. And the second package, Server SDK, is a utility package which allows you to log in and get access tokens for joining the rooms. So that's a very small package, and you will use it only in the beginning, but most of the heavy lifting will be done using the React package. So be sure to use the @alpha while installing the packages. So I have a demo app over here, and if I go to my packages, it's a quite simple Next.js application. And if you see the dependencies, I have the React and Server SDK installed, which are the alpha versions of the same. So once you have installed the application, the first thing you need to do is wrap your app inside a provider. So this is what will initialize your application. And so at the top level in your app.js file, you need to import the Huddle provider from our package. As you can see at the top, those are the import statements. And I hope it's visible. So yeah, we expose a Huddle client, which you can initialize like this. And then you wrap your app inside the Huddle01 Huddle provider, as you can see at the bottom. So to do this, you need to pass two options over here. The first one is the project ID. The project ID is the compulsory param, and the second one is an options parameter, which is optional. So for the project ID, you need to go to our documentation, which is alpha.docs.huddle01.com. So please make a note of all of this. And once you go to the documentation website, you'll see the Get an API key section over here at the bottom. Once you go there, you have to connect your crypto wallet. I'm going to be using MetaMask. And once I connect my wallet, two secrets will be generated for me here. The first one is the API key and the second is the project ID. I'll show you where you're going to be using both of them. But like I showed you earlier, the project ID, this one, the one at the bottom, is what you're going to be using over here. So when you initialize the app using the Huddle provider, you need to pass this project ID, and this project ID is unique and secret to your own project. So put it in your env file and do not commit it to GitHub and like protect it in that manner. So once you've done that, your Huddle client is initialized and you can like join rooms and get started with the audio video communication. So once you do that, the next thing you need to do is create an access token. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you have an API key also generated over here, and this is what you're going to be using to get your access token. So like I mentioned earlier, the server SDK package allows you to create an access token, and this is done on the server side. So if you're using Next.js, you can put this in an API route, or you can put it inside your server-side rendering route, like get server-side props. Or if you have a dedicated node server, you can do this over there as well. So I'll show you how I have done it in this sample app. In the sample app, I'm using server-side rendering. So over here in my Next.js index route, I have this get server-side props function over here, and I'm initializing my access token over here. Now this access token is unique to every participant in a room, and it allows you to join only one single room. So you need to pass these two parameters over here. API key is the one that I showed you earlier that is generated for you, and the room ID. Now for the room ID, you have to use something called the create room API. So if you go back to our documentation and you go to API reference, you'll see a create room API over here. So this can also be done from the server side as well as from the client side, or you can also use Postman if you want a hard-coded room ID for all of your rooms. So once you call this API route, you'll get a room ID. So now you have an API key as well as a room ID, and that's what you need to pass over here while getting your access token. Now this is done for every single peer, and once you do that, these are some additional parameters that you have to pass. All of this is the default. This is what the default options look like. So you can take a picture of this as well if you want, or you can make a note of it. But all of these are like detailed advanced stuff. So if you want to know more about what happens when you change these parameters, you can like visit me at the booth and I'll walk you through all of that. But to get started, this is all you need. These are the default parameters. All of them are set to true, as you can see over here. And you can also pass a wallet address over here. So if you're using crypto login in your application already, you can communicate with that layer and get the wallet address of the user and pass it over here to get that specific access token. Now, once you've done that, this token, I'm sending it to my client side using server-side rendering, and I'll get it over here at the top of my Next.js page. So I'm getting the token over here. Now that's done as well. So now I have initialized my app and I also have an access token. That's all you need. Now we can get to the good stuff. So the next step would be obviously to join a room where you can chat and like video call with other participants. So all of our functions inside the React SDK are available through hooks. So for joining and leaving the room, there's a hook called use room, as you can see on the screen. And this use room exposes two functions to you: join room and leave room. It's that simple. And when you call these functions, you will obviously be able to join or leave a room. So if I go back to my demo app, I have this hook called over here. It's use room, and it returns to me join room and state. And if I did that, it would give me a leave room function as well. I'm not using that function in this app, so I don't need to import it. But if you were doing that, you could get it over here. And this join room is a function that is callable. So once I've got that, I can scroll to the bottom and I've created a button over here which says join room. And on click, I've added the join room function that I'm getting from the hook. Now this function also accepts two parameters. It's like one parameter, an object, and it takes two fields, the room ID and the token. So token is obviously the one that we got from the server side, the access token. And the room ID is the same room ID that you use to generate the access token. So if I entered another room ID over here, you wouldn't be able to join that. So that's how we ensure security and privacy. So for every peer, there's a unique access token, and that token is unique to the room that was used as well. So this is what it looks like if I go to my app. I have these buttons over here that I've added. The first button is the join room button, which I just showed you. And when you call the join room function, you'll be able to join the room. So we'll quickly do that. So over here at the top, you can see something called idle. So that is the state returned from the use room hook as well. So the use room hook also returns something called the state, which is the state of the room. It can be either idle, connecting, or connected. So once I click on the button, you'll be able to see that it changes to connecting for a brief moment and then to connected. So once I click the button, it changed from connecting and then to connected, which means that I've successfully joined the room, and now I can share and receive audio video streams from other participants. So once I've done the join room thing, we'll move on to the next hook. So once the join room is done, we need to check out the video audio hooks, right? So in this application, I'm just going to show you how you can fetch your own video and share it with the other participants. So the next hook is something called use local video. Now, use local video, as the name suggests, relates to your own video streams. So local stands for your own video streams, and it gives you it returns multiple items here as well, just like the use room hook. So the important functions over here are enable video and disable video. So these are the two functions that you're going to be using to turn on your video inside a meeting room and turn it off. So again, I've added a button at the bottom for both of those. So I've added a button that says enable video and a button that says disable video. And I'm calling the respective functions when I click those buttons. So once I click on enable video over here, you'll be able to see that that's me, that's my video, and that's my local video. I can also click on disable video to turn it off, and it's gone. So that's how you would use the enable and disable video functions. Now those were for your own video, right? For a local video. But what if there are multiple participants in a call and you want video audio streams coming from those as well? So we'll move on to the next hook for that. The next hook is called use peer IDs. Now what use peer IDs does is it returns only one thing, which is an array of the peer IDs. Now these peer IDs are unique identifiers for every participant in a room. So what this will allow me to do is it will give me a list of all of the other participants excluding myself. So once I get those participants, what I can do is I can map over them. And once I've mapped over them, I can render a video component for all of them. So that's what I've done over here. Peer ID, it's a string. And once I map over it, I'm rendering this component of mine called remote peer. And I'm passing the peer ID to that component. So this is what the component looks like. It's nothing. It just renders a video component. And I'm doing this for every peer ID in the meeting. So inside the remote peer, I've got the peer ID and I know that these are the participants inside the room. Now, how do I fetch their video? So like I use local video for my own video streams. Very similarly, there's something called use remote video. So you can see all of this symmetrical nature between the two hooks. So local stands for my own video and audio streams. Remote stands for other participants. So once I'm rendering this video component for all of the participants, I'm calling the use remote video hook and I'm passing that specific peer ID to that hook. Once I do that, it will again return me a stream, which is the video stream coming from the other participants. And once I get that, I'm just rendering it inside a video tag, a simple HTML video tag. And yeah, that should be it. So once I go back to my app, I am enabling my video again. And this time I'm also opening the same server in another tab. And you can see over here also the room is in idle state right now. So I'm joining the room from this tab as well. And once I do that, I can see the video stream coming from the previous tab. Again, the room state says connected, which means I'm in the room. And now I can enable my video in this tab as well. And that's me again. I can disable it over here as well and enable it back. Now, if I go back to the previous tab, it's the same. You can see the one at the top is my own stream. And the one at the bottom is the remote stream coming from the other participant. And similarly, if I opened another tab and joined as a third participant, I would do the same. I would join the room and be able to see the other two participants. And I could enable my video over here as well. And it would just keep adding all of the peer IDs in the similar fashion. So this is how simple it is to use our SDK. The important hooks that you need to know are use room, use local video, use remote video. And similarly, if you wanted audio, it's the same. Use local audio, use remote audio. So that's all you have to do. You have to use these hooks to build our application. I'm going to be at my booth, and if you want, you can come and chat more about your project. And if you need any sort of help, I'll be there to help you throughout the hackathon. And yeah, we have 3 different tracks we have started, which we're going to be distributing, I believe, at the exit of this room, or maybe somewhere, or you can even get it at our booth. We also have merch for you all, t-shirts and everything for grabs. So come and take those as well. And yeah, these are our documentation. So please scan this. This is very important. You need to use the Alpha SDK and the Alpha documentation, which you can get by scanning this QR code. So quickly take a picture. And these are our socials. The first one is our Twitter. Do tag us when you're building your projects, and we will give you exclusive merch for that as well. We have a lot of items in store for you. And the second one is our Discord server. So all of our development team, marketing team, everyone from the Huddle01 team is actively available on Discord if you need any questions or any help and you cannot find us. So drop a message on our Discord server and we'll be happy to help you.